Hi health professionals, how you going? Karen Finnan here. So today I'm really talking more to the physical-based health professions out there. I wanted to talk about observation. It's the first thing that we generally do after our subjective assessment, and there's some special considerations that we need to make when we're taking that process online. So let's just jump straight in with problem-solving ways to get the best observation of our patient that we can. Alright, so number one, here's an option. You can get a patient to send some photos through beforehand. Now, we do some intake forms at Online Physio, so I already have an idea of what sort of condition the patient has before we jump on our video call. And very often, depending on what that is, I will instruct them to take some digital images and send those through so that I can get a little look at the part. So if they've had a knee surgery, for example, it might be getting them to take some images of both knees from the top so that I can see the degree of swelling, the degree of muscle wasting, the state of the wound. I might then get them to hone in on that particular knee again so that I can see the wound up close. So just remember that that is an option. Everyone does their consultations in different ways. You don't always know what they're going to have when you jump on that video call, but that is one big reason why I like to know that beforehand. Now, number two, really important to advise the patient to wear clothing that will be suitable or easy to see their injury from before the call. So it's all good and well to think, I'm going to be on a video call, we're just going to be talking. It might be a person with a knee injury and they're wearing jeans. So it's just one little step in those instructions that you send through. It can be really handy to just give them those instructions to say wear shorts or, wear a singlet if it's a shoulder-based condition so that you can get a closer look at that. Much easier than having them to disrobe, on the actual call. Now, when you get on the video call, it obviously now becomes about your instructions and calmly taking the time to direct the patient to where they need to be so that you can really clearly observe their body part. Now, if it's upper body, obviously that's a lot easier on a video call. You want to make sure that the video is stable and in a good position on the patient end. It should already be on your end so that you can clearly see what's going on there. Now, many people join their video call through a link. The priority video platforms to use for telehealth are often ones that are very easy to join with simply clicking a link. So here's a little tip for you. If the patient's on their laptop and you need to see something in their lower body, perhaps they could close the call and reopen the call on their smartphone, which instantly gives them a roaming camera. That can give them a much more powerful ability to scan over lower body parts so that you can see things better. Now, of course, when you are on that video call, once you get them in a good position, remember that you do have the option of taking screenshots, and that is a really good way to record degrees of swelling, degrees of redness, state of wounds, and that sort of thing. Now, of course, remember, you just need to make sure that you store those screenshots securely according to privacy principles. And finally, another tip that I like to use, because you're not immediately right there to look at sort of perspectives and boundaries of perhaps redness and that sort of thing, is get the patient to grab a pen. So it can help if you're guiding them through sort of, things that you're wanting to look at. It can sometimes be helpful for them to sort of mark things on themselves with pen in terms of, movement based or where pain is so that you can observe where that is. All right, so it's just all about problem solving. You can do a really good observation online if you just do a few things to think outside of the box. I hope that's been helpful for you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well on how you observe people via telehealth. Thanks, guys. I look forward to chatting to you next time. Bye.